The VCU BrandCenter just introduced the world's first creative technology degree track program. Insight's Sasha Lester is in our studio with more.
We are joined by Mark Avnet. He is the professor and head of the new creative technology program here at VCU, and thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Okay, so for our viewers who don't know, the VCU BrandCenter just introduced the world's first creative technology degree program. So can you explain this program a little bit?
Yep. BrandCenter, as you may or may not know, is the graduate program at VCU in advertising and branding. It used to be called the Ad Center, but now it's called the BrandCenter to reflect sort of a larger take on what advertising really is. It's about creating the brand as well. The creative technology program came out of a recognized need to look at the way people act with technology. In the olden days of a few years ago, in advertising, people would create a message and they would send it down the hall to be produced for television, for print, and that was the extent of the technology. But nowadays, the technology has become so important within the message itself that we recognized the need to create a program that incorporated all that. It made a more holistic view of advertising and marketing. And the program was born out of that recognition, and also by the advertising agencies in the world who are hiring our graduates, who said, we need people who get digital, and we don't know where to go. And now we have an answer at BrandCenter.
So that's where the idea for the program came from. It's different advertising faculty saying that they needed students who could pretty much work the digital and the other aspect of it.
And not just work them independently, because that's the way so much of the industry is structured now, is there's the digital side and there's everything else, sort of old media, new media. But it really is all the same thing. Even the tools to create print are the same tools you'll use to make a website or any interactive or technologically based communication. So the tools are the same. Separating the thinking doesn't make sense at that point. So we're bringing it all back into one area so that people can have a more holistic view of how communication works, and then make intelligent choices about what technology makes sense to use within any communication.
Right. So what has been the student reaction to the program thus far?
Aside from the amount of work they're doing and how exhausted they are this time of year, they love it. The students within the track are learning things they never thought that they would learn. It's been very exciting. I'm learning from them because everybody comes in knowing what they know, and we all share. They're now being sought out by the other students in other tracks, not just the creative technology track, to contribute both creatively, because we're looking at technology as a creative function, not push it down the hall and build it. Strategically and from an idea standpoint, where the good ideas can come from everybody, and the reaction at the school has been tremendous. The reaction in the industry has been tremendous. We're getting calls from some of the top digitally aware, digitally hip advertising agencies asking for interns. And that hardly ever happens. Now it's happening all the time. We're sort of saying, well, you can only have 2 because we have more people who want them.
All right, and thank you again for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you. And again, this was Mark Avnet. He is a professor and head of the new creative technology program here at VCU. Back to the desk.